Good. Welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trades to Azure. We are back on our Macabre, and yeah, I attempted an exploration last time, but most things didn't change. St. Ursula was almost exactly the same, except Lloyd commented in his mind that we sent Ilya's message to Risha, but he is not willing to tell Ilya that until Risha is willing to talk to her herself. And what else? Yeah, I looked around here on the Macabre. I can show that off. So now we really are sticking with the CGF, huh? Even though she knows that means fighting against us? Last I spoke to her, yes. Her resolve was as firm as steel. Even now I'm not sure what made Noah so set on taking that path. It feels like there's more to it than just a recent string of events. You're probably right. If I had to guess, it all comes back to our dad passing away when we were kids. He was hit by a misfire during a Republican army training drill at the eastern border. What? You're telling me that's the accident your father passed away in 10 years ago? I still was little at the time, so I don't have all the details straight. But from what they told me, a stray bullet from a Republican army exercise struck my dad by mistake while he was on guard duty. That's terrible. Given Crossbar's situation though, there was no way to really push his death as a major issue. In the end, he was swept under the rug as just another accident. Our mom was heartbroken, but she ultimately accepted this as part of the risks that came with his job. But Noe? I don't think she ever did. It probably still haunts her, even after all this time. You might be right, friend. I feel like I have a better understanding of why Noelle is so determined to protect Crossbar now. Sorry about this, I didn't mean to bring down the room. Noe may not be with him, but there's still members of the CGF who oppose the new Crossbar Defense Force. Meeting up with them and securing their cooperation should be our top priority. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We'll be counting on you to back us up out there, friend. You got it. I'll do everything I can. I wonder who's leading them, though. Excellent question. Maybe we figure that out. I spotted Risha on the deck. Seemed to have her head in the clouds a bit. Arc-en-Ciel, Hayori, her duty as Yin. I'm sure the girl has a lot on her mind. Why not go out there and lend her an ear? Maybe even give some advice. You never know. You may just raise a romance flag or two. I have no idea what you're talking about. What kind of ulterior motives do you think I have? At any rate, you would never know a girl like Risha was Yin if not for that get-up. Her real personality is so plain and unassuming, you might even call it a natural camouflage. Ilya's finally gained consciousness. I couldn't be more thrilled about that. It's not too late, Risha. When you're ready to see her face to face, just say the word. I promise we'll find the time to head back to St. Ursula the moment you do. Thank you, Lloyd. I appreciate the concern. But right now, my focus is on liberating Crossbar City and the rest of Arc-en-Ciel. There's still work to be done before I can proudly stand in front of Ilya and tell her the truth. Fair enough. There's all the more reason to free the city as quickly as we can. When we do, I know we'll be able to face Ilya with her head held high. I intend to give my very best for everybody who's counting on us. Kia and Ilya included. Are you with me, Risha? Of course! Wouldn't have it any other way. I learned of the Resistance's location through intel I intercepted from the Defense Force while I was hiding out on the ancient battlefield. Thinking back on that reminds me, I'm still indebted to Heiyu in more ways than one. It's a shame that my contract with them couldn't have been voided on more amiable terms. Someday I'll make sure to repay Zhao and his people for everything they've done for me. Speaking of which, how did your little Tedder go? Manage to raise that romance flag? Not sure what they're talking about, but it wasn't the reason I went to speak with her. Maybe if we had enough bonding points with her, might have worked. Heading to the mountain path reminds me that your former pack is located there. Are they divine wolves too? No. They are only ordinary wolves. Even so, I consider them my kith and kin. They and their ancestors have followed me for generations, ever since Ursula walked the soil. So they're like family to you. It's no wonder you were able to intimidate the Varsha's warhounds so easily back when we first met. Do you suppose your pack is still alright? There's no need to fret. I made sure to give them detailed instructions before my departure. I imagine we're watching things unfold from a safe distance, even as we speak. I wonder what side's former pack is doing right now. It would be reassuring to have them on our side as well. Rest assured, we're likely monitoring the current situation even as we speak. And they've done so for a long time. Even I heard the rumors about the legendary Jiangshou Yin. Is it true though? She was actually that girl all along? The world was really full of surprises. Then again, I bet you were just as shocked to learn that Father Vasi is a man of a cloth. Yin, the legendary Jiangshou. To think he was actually that young girl all along. The world just full of surprises, huh? It takes conviction to rise up against a giant organization like the Crossbow Defense Force. Turning on your comrades is tough enough, and they probably don't even have a proper supply chain. I don't know who's leading them, but they sure must have one unshakable spirit. And there's a scene with Zhao. Oh, you're that guy from Heiyui. Indeed, Detective Bennings. Master Zhao is ready to see you in our hideout now. Are you ready to meet with him? Sure. Very well, please follow me. I will guide you to Master Zhao. I thank you most graciously for your visit, ladies and gentlemen. You especially, Mr. Bennings. I had a feeling you'd be back. Changed your mind about joining Heiyui, have you? Not particularly, no. Anyway, I take it you've all been lying low in the Sunfort this entire time? Yes, there are many facilities here that the cult left abandoned. It makes for a very convenient hideaway. Even the Defense Force and the Red Constellation would find it difficult to make their way inside. I wouldn't count on them discovering the secret passageway you arrived by either. I'd have to agree with you there. The route Lau escorted us through had more twists and turns than an Archon Steel performance. True, even after trespassing it, you would be hard-pressed returning on our own. That was by design. Pay it no mind, my friends, but please, do try to keep this information to yourself. Is all of Heiyui staying here for now? Yes, we are withdrawn for the moment. I intend to bide my time and observe what happens from here on out. There's also the simple fact that until something is done about that barrier around the city, our hands are tied. As things stand, facing both the Defense Force and the Red Constellation would be too great a risk even for us. Then again, with Master Yin among our ranks, perhaps we could find an alternative solution. I can't imagine it would be a peaceful one. Something tells me she wouldn't be keen on bloodying her hands past the point of no return to strong-arm things in your favor. Oh, I never openly suggested any such thing, but you can imagine what you will. It doesn't matter. Now that Visha's with us, we'll make sure she never has to walk a path like that again. Lloyd. Here. I'll fight for the sake of Kia's freedom. She would never accept Visha participating in a massacre, even if it ended the crisis. Moreover, life is ever unpredictable. Taking drastic measures far from guarantees the desired outcome. You should bear in mind that the enemy can manipulate the Divine Child's miracles. Such dire straits as these necessitate an alternative course of action. I'm well aware. There's no point in even fantasizing about a full-scale conflict without our primary piece on the board. Truth be told, I'm counting on each of you to bring an end to this newfound status quo for all our sakes. So please, do run circles around the president's little cabinet and we'll come crashing into the dirt where they belong. Yeah, just leave it to us. And I hope that if it comes to that, you'll be there to lend us a hand. I wish you well. My, such compassionate words, Marcian. I suppose there's a first for everything. Now, if you excuse me, this brings our little gathering to an end. LoH, if you could guide them safely back the way they came, please. Yes. LoH Company received a burst orb from Zhao as a parting gift. You're welcome to come and visit us after the situation is improved. When the time is right, return to me and I shall guide you to Master Zhao. Other than that, the only new thing was we can now enter the East Crossbell Highway, but there is not much for us there. Well, except the boathouse is there, where Lake Lord III and Kaguya from the Imperial Fishing Club are now camping out. Good. Let's begin our actual episode. Mainz Mountain Path Crossroads. The resistance group we're looking for is somewhere on the mountain path. Shall we head toward the mining village to start? I'm worried about the state of things in Mainz. But before that, don't tell me you're thinking of visiting a certain someone along the way. The Rosenberg Studio, one of the 13 factories. The Meister said he would speak to us if he felt inclined. Is that so? As it happens, I once tried to infiltrate the workshop myself. But the lower floors were so labyrinthine that I had to give up on the operation. I'm not sure if that's for the better or for worse. Joerg, huh? It has been many moons since last we met, but I hear he's doing well for himself. What? Seit you're acquainted with the Meister? We are vaguely aware of each other's circumstances, to say the least. He may be aligned with those serpents, but he is nevertheless a craftsman of tradition and integrity. I have no doubt that he is someone we can trust. Really now? We ought to drop by then. I'd love to hear more about the society. Shall we make a detour there before continuing to Mainz? Yeah, let's head over. The rope leading below the cliff has been severed. What happened here? It appears to have been sliced with a sharp edge. Where did this rope lead to? A while back, Wendy used it to go down into one of Mainz's old mines. If you follow the path, it ends up spitting you out near the village. I see, I wasn't aware you could get there that way. Do you suppose the Red Constellation one that cut the rope? It's the most likely culprit, yeah? How devious of them. I mean, it's not as if a rope cannot be replaced, right? Oh, a cryptid. Hello, cryptid. Ooh.
行くよ。
助かりました。さてエニグマクロ
やれやれ。バースト発動。
OK です。お任せを。月影の蝶たちや
やれや
覚悟。ロイドさん
れ。一緒に行こう。それ。
Gotta admit, that looked cool.
さてエニグマ駆動。
僕の番か。任せてくれ。やっと。
私の番ですね。月影の蝶たち私の番ですね。
そこだ。
お任せを。やあ私の番ですね。
俺の番だな。僕の番か。エニグマ駆動。
やあ
そこだ。俺の番だな。
お任せを。
僕の番か。それ。
助かりました。
行くぞ。させるか。
覚悟。せい。さてドライブ開始。やあ
グラッチャ。やれやれ。マジ。オッケー。一気に行くぞ。ストライク。ヘイ。
Ow.
覚悟。かわいい。さて
Yeah, she tries to draw it close, but that thing is simply too heavy.
エニグマ駆動。
さてと。やれやれ。世話が焼けるね。
助かりました。
行くぞ。やった。これが俺たちの力だ。
皆さん勝機です。やあ
任せてくれ。やってもらった。まあまあだったね。
Okay, time to visit the Meister.
お
Here we are. I just hope he's in right now. Considering the situation, I doubt he's been able to go anywhere else. That's right, I haven't. What the? A speaking tube? I'd hunch you'd be showing up soon. That guide door again? Come in. Well, I shouldn't have to remind you. Be aware that I cannot guarantee your safety if you stray from the little one. Cautious as always, that man. Well, at least it's to have a point. Saves us time. Let's head inside. After you. Ah, you even brought a guest in tow. An exceptional elusive one at that. It's been some time, Divine Wolf. But it has, child of man. You've aged far worse than I have. And you're still involved with those serpents from the looks of it. Some bonds never break, even after parting this earthly realm. The same could be said of a pact that bound you, could it not? Just so. Something about this seems a bit removed from our comprehension. Yeah, it doesn't even feel like we're talking about the world we know anymore. By the side, you also brought a dominion of a growl sitter, as well as a demon of the Eastern Quarter who tried to break in here. It's quite a motley little menagerie you've set up for yourselves. You're telling us? My apologies for that, by the way. Meister Joerg, we're doing all we can to fight back against everything that's happening right now. Is there anything you would tell us that would help? Specifically anything about the Society's recent activity? As I'm sure you've surmised by now, the Society stands in this is to simply cooperate with the Croix family's plan. Their focus, the Phantasma Blaze plan, has already shifted to the next stage. The Urbonian Empire, to be more precise. What? He's right. A number of Angus and multiple enforcers have already begun to act over there. That's part of why the Growlswitter couldn't spare more manpower for the situation here in Crossbow. That's not good. The continent is experiencing more upheaval than we can imagine right now. But having said that, 3 dangerous figures still remain in the state. Each of them is a prominent member of the Society. Campanella the Fool, as well as 2 Anglers, Professor Novartis and the woman known as Ariane Road. Just who is she exactly? Her agility, her reflexes, they're unlike anything I've ever seen. I couldn't tell you where she draws her strength from. However, she's known in the Society for incomparable spearmanship, as well as her strict moral code. She's also accompanied by 3 maidens of war, young women whom she discovered and trained herself. And each is said to have strength equal to that of an enforcer. That would make them as powerful as Ren. To be fair, being an enforcer involves a lot more than pure combat strength from what I can tell. In any case, that would total out to 6 members of a Society cooperating with a Croix family. But cooperation doesn't necessarily mean active participation, right? Isn't there a chance they won't further involve themselves with a battle over Crossbow? Anything is possible. But I would remain wary of that loud Novartis. He is particularly invested in those ions, now that they've received the Septarian's power. That's the extent of what I can tell you about their plans. That's all, huh? Dealing with them will not be easy. As an aside, there's something I've been wanting to ask you about since our last visit. Are you currently performing maintenance on Patamata? Did it just talk? This is less maintenance and more routine checkup. That jackanap of a professor is also particularly taken by this machine. Fortunately, he's been too focused on his new toys, so I doubt there's anything to worry about. However, in the event he returns to steal Patamata, I've arranged things so that it can easily escape. I'll take your words for it. So in case of emergency, it'll make a flight path straight to Libel where the Angel of Slaughter is. From the sound of it, though, you and the Professor must not get along very well. You will never hear me deny that. The Gordia series was something I poured my blood, sweat and tears into. Then he stole the development data away, conducted inhumane compatibility tests and cast all the burden to Ren. Even if her connection was successful, the trial he put that little girl through are something I can never forgive. Understandable? That sounds no better than the kind of experiments the cult performed. And to top it all off, he went and designed successors incapable of operating properly without the power of a Septarian. What nerve and impudence he has to call them the pinnacles of the Gordia series. It took all I had not to wipe that smirk of his face and strangle the chicken neck of his the last time he was here. Did it now? Mind yourself, Meister. You always the one to get carried away when it came to defending your creations. I digress. Regardless of how shameless he is, there's no denying his genius when it comes to technology and applied engineering. I've heard that in addition to remodeling and upgrading the archaisms that I designed, he figured out how to mass-produce them. Supposedly some have already been deployed to Stargazer's Tower and the Moon Temple. That would explain the ones we saw in front of the tower. No question that they looked strong. Taking into account the locations in which they have been stationed, are we correct in assuming they are guarding the bells at each ruin? More likely than not. I've been researching those artifact bells myself. I will let you know if I come to any significant conclusions. You'd do that for us? Color me surprised. Where's all this university coming from? I'm just as upset about the current state of affairs as you are. There's an absurd Novartis to put in his place, too. Not to mention a mess they made of the pieces I toiled over for my associates at Arc-en-Ciel. That's right, the staging and automata at Arc-en-Ciel were destroyed in the raid. Indeed, and I intend to personally rebuild every last bit of it for them. All of it's to say I cannot overlook what the Red Constellation has done, nor that of the Croix family for hiring them. The daughter of the Croix family may be a long-term collector of my works, but that will win her no favor from me. Taking the prisoners, I see. I understand why you'd feel that way. Your cooperation would be a tremendous help, to be honest. Please let us know if you learn anything at all about the bells. Thank you, little one. I consider us lucky enough that he invited us in. I hardly expected we would leave with his partnership too. I know what you mean. They only seem like a society in name, really. Yes, and that's part of what makes him so hard to grasp. But as far as the old man is concerned, I don't see any reason not to work with him.
そうですね。
I have to agree.
理由も
He's already given us his motivations for helping out.
ヨルグならばいずれ
Knowing Joerg, he will make good on uncovering valuable information in time.
ま
I would advise you to put it out of your mind for now, and continue forward until he does.
なあ、そうするよ。
That we can do.
さてと、
Okay, let's start our way up to the mining village now.
レジスタンス勢力の動向
We need to make contact with the resistance group and find out where they stand.
了解しました。
それじゃあ行こうか。
この気配は
I detect something.
軍用魔獣。
Military monsters incoming!
何？
What? These ones again. Weapons up, and yeah, it's a red constellation military monsters.
月影の蝶たちよ。覚悟、覚悟。長い愛を無限、去りゆく者への手向け。眠れ、白金の光に抱かれ。
Seal blade.
任せてくれ。行くよ。
Okay.
パーティーの始まりだ。
OK です。私の番です。それ、お任せを。かわいい。
俺の番だな。さてと、
行きます。やあ、私の番ですね。
行くぞ。みんな大丈夫か？何？
Huh?
トンネル道の方に
They're fleeing towards the tunnel.
ひょっとして
Something must be happening near Mainz.
方面で動きがあったのかもしれません。赤い星座
Perhaps the Red Constellation has begun hunting down the resistance?
狩りを始めたとか。
That's certainly a possibility.
となると、今の
You think those beasts are being used as the Jäger's rearguard?
紹介任務中だったのかな。
その可能性は
A fair assumption.
何らかの意図を
Their withdrawal may have had more purpose behind it than a simple retreat. We have to get to Command 1 before it's too late.
グズグズしていた
If the resistance is in danger, they're going to need our help. Onward then.